ओम शांति। मधुबन में दादी जानकी जी हमारे संग है।
Dadi Janki is together with us in Madhuban,
रत्नों से हमें
and she is filling us with the jewels of knowledge
विशेष रूप से
in a special way,
समय की समीपता को देखकर
seeing the closeness of time.
हम बच्चों को
Baba
ज्ञान की गहराई में तो ले ही जाते
is taking us into the depths of knowledge, and together with that,
संपूर्ण बनने के भी इशारे देते
Baba is giving us signals to become complete.
दादी जानकी जी
And our Dadi Janki ji
संपूर्णता के निकट है।
is the embodiment of completeness, and whatever Baba has said, Dadi has immediately brought that into her life in a practical way, and together with that, she is inspiring us to do that also. Today is a class of question and answers. There are many questions that are asked to Dadi, frequently asked questions, and people are interested in the answers, so we have selected some of those, and we will present those on your behalf to Dadi, and Dadi will give us the answers. So the first question that I will ask Dadi is, Dadi, Baba says that there is very little time and we have to become complete. So we have to become complete in such a small period of time. We have to make our stage very elevated. But there are many confusions that take place in life, and how can we overcome those and get clarity in our life and reach that stage of completion that Baba is speaking about? We want to do this, but we don't seem to be reaching it. It still seems quite far. So why are we unable to achieve that? And we're doing everything, but we still feel far. How can we fulfill Baba's desires for us and Baba's desires? We want to, but we're not able to do that. So can you give us some yuktis so that we can reach that stage of perfection? Is this the question of all of you? Do any of you have this question? Put your hands up if you do. Yeah.
तो दादी जी उत्तर देंगे कि हम संपूर्णता के निकट जल्दी से जल्दी कैसे पहुंचे.
So Dadi is going to share with us her thoughts about this.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. अच्छा. समय.
Time. Baba, the self, and the aim. We have to keep all four of these in front of us at every moment, day and night, and there shouldn't be any time when we waste our time, because if we do, then all the other three aspects go. If we keep Baba in front of ourselves, if we don't have Baba in front of ourselves, nothing will be happening. If we have ourselves, we will be very attentive and make effort. If we don't make that special effort, then there'll be nothing left of the self. If we keep our aim in front of us, others will give, all the other three will give us their cooperation. So you've understood the relationship between time, the Baba, the aim, and the self. So you are all very clever, and you understand that you have to keep all four together. The most important of all is to have value of your time. Anyone who values their time, this is the confluence age. Baba has given us the knowledge of the cycle, and I have seen
आत्मा परमात्मा और चक्र के ज्ञान से ही सारे आगे बढ़ते हैं.
that those who have the knowledge of the self, the Supreme Soul, and the cycle, they all move forward well.
आत्मा समझा, परमात्मा को
When you've
समझा.
understood the self, you've understood the Supreme Soul, but if you haven't understood time, that there is very little, and we have to go back to the soul world quickly, and we have to come to the golden age, that means we have to become karmatit, we have to be complete, we have to reach a high status.
ये याद नहीं करना है.
This we don't have to remember, but we have to be aware of it.
अब शॉर्ट में ये जवाब बहुत
So the brief
सहज है.
answer and the easy answer
सिर्फ
is
टेंशन फ्री
simply
रहे,
to remain tension
attention
free
अच्छा रखें.
and to keep good attention on all these things.
बस मैं तो समझती हूँ इस पे इनफ है.
I think I have said enough for this question.
अंदर का जो टाइम है ना,
So the time that you have
जितना
within
हम
yourself,
alert रहेंगे
as
ना,
much as you remain alert,
वाणी कर्म मेरा अच्छा होगा.
you will make sure that all your words and your actions are very
अलर्ट
accurate.
रहने का भी अक्ल चाहिए.
You need sense to remain alert.
अलर्ट न रहा तो लेजीनेस.
If you're a bit lazy and you're
nature
not
है ना,
properly alert,
तो कभी उमंग उत्साह से
then sometimes
बढ़ने
you
का है,
are
थकने
not
का है,
able
ये
to
तो ये
move ahead
यज्ञ से
because
नहीं
of
बनने
lack
का
of,
है.
of love for the yagya, of
जो
courage,
श्रेष्ठ
of
पुरुषार्थ करके
enthusiasm,
सफल करने
all
का है,
the
वो करने का
things
है.
that you could do to make them worthwhile, and you have to do them immediately. But if you're not alert, you miss the chance, you miss the opportunity, the time passes and you
हो
didn't do
जाएगा,
it. You'll
कैसे
say,
करें, हो
oh,
जाएगा, कैसे
it'll
करें.
happen, but how
पता
can
नहीं,
I do it? I
लेकिन
don't know, let's see.
ये जो भाषा है ना अंदर
This
जो बोल रहा है
vocabulary,
ना, सोच है
these
ना,
words, this kind of thinking,
वही ऐसा डल है.
is a sign of very dull people. You don't get the
पुरुषार्थ नहीं.
point. In
करना है, अब
effort,
करना है,
you have
मुझे
to do
करना
it, you
है.
have to do it now, and I have to do
बाबा
it.
करा रहा है, फिर तो अंदर
Baba
है.
is getting it all done. That will be there inside.
बाबा करा रहा है, देख
Baba
रहे हैं,
is
बाबा
getting
चला
it
रहा है,
done,
बाबा
and we'll
करा रहा
see
है,
Baba is getting everything done, he is doing everything.
फिर मैं नहीं कर रही हूँ,
I am not doing
मुझे
everything,
करना अवश्य
anything,
है.
but
बाबा
still,
करा रहा है.
I have to do it, definitely, but Baba is doing
हजारें
everything.
मिसाल है, मैं
There are
कुछ नहीं कर
thousands
सकती.
of examples that I
मतलब
cannot
से,
do
न धन से,
anything,
पर मन से तो मुझे करना ही है.
but without any physical facilities or anything, but if it is clear in the mind that this is what I have to do, we will do it.
मन में और कुछ बात है ही नहीं.
And there's nothing else in the mind, so it will definitely get done. Nothing else is there in the mind.
पूछो अपने मन से कुछ है क्या?
Ask yourself, is there
मन बुद्धि
anything
का आपस में
else?
connection है.
There's a connection between the
मन में
mind and the
कोई
intellect.
बात ऐसी
If
पता नहीं
there
पकड़
is
के बैठते हैं,
anything sitting in the mind,
बुद्धि right time पर right काम नहीं करती.
so that the intellect is not able to do the right thing at the right time. Usually it's a desire of the mind, or you have attachment to your own ideas.
उसमें भी ममता है.
There's a lot of attachment there.
कोई नहीं कोई कार्य है, व्यवहार है, संबंध है.
There is some relationship, some interaction, or whatever that they get attracted to. They like it.
तो एक है,
So one thing is
उस घड़ी एकाग्रता की
that
शक्ति कम.
there's less concentration power at the time, because you need to have attention on the power of concentration. And if you have good power of concentration, all the other four aspects I was speaking about before will work. The intellect needs to have the power of concentration, because this is a value of the intellect.
कई पुरुषार्थ अच्छा करते हैं,
There are some who do good
एकाग्रता की
effort,
शक्ति का अनुभव
but
नहीं है.
they don't have the experience of the power of concentration.
एकाग्रता की शक्ति
The power of
आठ
concentration
शक्तियाँ फ्रेंड्स बना देती है.
makes friends of the other 8 powers.
मेहनत नहीं है, शक्तियाँ फ्रेंड्स है ना.
Because if the powers are your friends, then with great love,
जैसे 8 भुजाओं वाली शक्ति,
as if you are a Shakti with 8 arms,
एकाग्रता की शक्ति,
the power,
8 भुजाओं वाली
the
शक्ति है.
Shakti of the power of concentration has the 8 powers of Baba's 8 powers that he gives us. And then it's Baba. Okay? Yes, Baba.
तो एकाग्रता की शक्ति
So the
का
power
जिसको
of concentration,
अनुभव है ना,
if you have experience of it,
उसके लिए समय एकाग्रता की शक्ति में
then time is used very well.
समय भी कहते हैं अच्छा
And time has a lot of cooperation with you. It will work with you well because it likes the dignity of a person who has the power of concentration.
सर्वशक्तिमान की शक्ति
The authority of the 8 powers incarnates into you, just as Shiv Baba had incarnated into Brahma Baba. And so we do not have Shiv Baba incarnating into us, but Bap Dada is our associate, because we have a recognition of the value of the power of concentration. And then a lot of time is saved within, because no waste thoughts are going on, and the mind remains the one that does the right work. It doesn't do anything by attachment or by desire. It is free from all of that. And Baba sees that this one's intellect's connection is with Baba, then and with a very great ease. Baba uses that soul and guides that soul with the heart, and we are not being moved around by Baba because we have to, but we wish to, and by the heart. There's no effort involved. There's never been any experience of making effort, any labor. The people who don't have the power of concentration, they find everything very laborious and a lot of effort. If you see Mama and Baba, you see the Dadis, they all have the power of concentration. And it is this power that has brought them to where they are today. When there is the power of concentration, the power of the Supreme Soul gets everything done through that power. The intellect is not allowed to waver. In the beginning, we used to keep the image of a balance, scales, and somebody who doesn't know how to hold the balance will not be able to do business, because the weight's in one side and the material in the other side, and the needle at the top has to be straight up. If you're a grocery business person, you need some scales. Then people will have faith in you that you give the right amount. And what is the balance? There is a wood at the wooden rod, and then there's 2 trays, and the weights in one side and the material in the other side. And the people have to make good weights, and they make a very good balanced pair of scales. And they have to be 3 strings to hold the trays. They have to be strong as well, and the needle has to be very accurate. And then when you go to the grocer's shop, if somebody wants to cheat you, they will use the balance in such a way that you can't see what they're doing. But if they're real, they'll show it accurately that this is the weight and this is what you're getting. And if you go to the goldsmith, or you go to the blacksmith, or you go to the diamond dealer, all of them have accurate scales. And so to be alert, accurate, and to have the power of concentration, these are the 3 essential qualities that you need. And then there's nothing wavering or fluctuating. There will be faith in the soul. If there's not faith in the soul, in the Supreme Soul, then it means you don't have a clear understanding. So you have to make sure that you pay attention to becoming accurate, and that needle is straight up, and you take what the weight says. Your remembrance can be so good through the power of concentration. It becomes accurate and you will remain alert.
ऑलराउंडर ऑटोमेटिक बनेंगे.
You will automatically become an all-rounder. Whatever service you get, at the moment you get it, you will accept it and do it right then.
ऑलराउंडर एक ही रही है.
There was one all-rounder in the yagya amongst all of us.
उन जैसी कोई नहीं थी.
And there was no one else like her. There was that one sister called All-Rounder, and she used to do whatever Baba would want. Whatever teachings, whatever work Baba gave, she was ever ready for that at all times. And she was the youngest of all of us. She was so faithful and trustworthy. And Baba had so much faith that what nobody else can do, all-rounder will do it. And she had this feeling that God has faith in me. It doesn't matter if I don't have faith in myself, but God has faith in me that my child can do it. This was a great thing. And such effort, with the true heart, with Baba as the companion, was a matter of great enjoyment. She would never say, well, how can I do this? I don't know whether I'll have time. Where will I have time? What are you doing? What else are you doing? No. So to be ever ready, to be all-rounder, to be accurate, alert, and all this can be done if you have the power of concentration. So you understand what Dadi is saying, right? You give a signal that you understand. So if you go into the depth of this, you will see that success, if you couldn't understand it before, but today you will understand how to get success. Not a single moment can go fruitlessly. Not a single thought of mine can go to waste. No thought can be fruitless. And the breath that is being breathed is also profitable. And then your life will be useful. If you're just breathing full of peacelessness and anxiety or upset, then your life is of no use. So, okay, give this person a little rest, they can't handle anything. Nobody should say, oh, poor thing. You're a Shiv Shakti. How can anybody say, oh, poor thing? Nobody should feel that kind of mercy that, oh, let this one go, let them have a bit of rest, oh, they're a bit tired. If they are tired, it means their dignity is gone. If you have that tiredness in your voice, it means that you're a little dried up, and it's very difficult to get anything going there. It'll be difficult for you to smile. Oh, you're very tired, you can't even smile. So look at how much work Baba wants to get done. Look at how you have to face all these many things, but no tiredness. If Baba is not in front of you, how will you face everything? But if Baba is with you, you can face anything at any time. He is that much wonderful. Acha, next question.
So, Dadi, जैसे आपने कहा अलर्ट रहना है, ऑलराउंडर रहना है, एकाग्र रहना है.
So Shilabhen is picking up the points that Dadi mentioned. And now what happens if you are careless? Because on the 30th of November, Baba had talked about a lot of forms of carelessness. So how can we get rid of carelessness, and what is the list of carelessness, and what does Baba mean by carelessness exactly? How do I know whether I'm careless? Some people think, well, I'm not careless, but they are actually, because there are many forms that carelessness takes.
बाबा ने अलबिलेपन पर भी सब पर समझाया था.
Baba has actually clarified it very well. There is royal carelessness, for
वो
example.
नहीं समझते हम कोई अलबेले है.
They don't think they're careless,
रॉयल अलबेलापन.
but they are royally careless.
परंतु फिर भी मैं कहती हूँ जो ऑनेस्टी है ना
But
पुरुषार्थ
still,
में,
if you have honesty in your
अलबेला
effort,
नहीं हो सकता.
then you cannot be careless.
कईयों को डोंट केयर करने की आदत
There
है.
are some who have a negligent attitude and they don't care.
जो ऑनेस्ट है ना,
But
रियल
people
है
who are
ना,
honest and real
सच की वैल्यू का पता है ना,
and who have value for the truth,
सच में कितनी शक्ति मिलती है ना.
there's great power that you draw from living according to truth, and time says, make yourself real and true. Baba is saying this, and time is also saying that lies and falsehood is not going to fly here.
माँ है मेरा ड्रामा, बाप है.
Drama is the mother and Shiv Baba is the father. And time also says, go ahead with understanding. If you waste time, I'm not going to be with you, time says.
अलबेलाई समय की वैल्यू कम कर देती है.
So carelessness is to have less value for time, and Baba sees this person doesn't understand the value of time, so Baba will also not be with that person. And there are many who, if you go deeply inside, you can find out, if you don't go inside and go into real introspection, that also is carelessness, because you wouldn't understand the value of doing that. So royal carelessness is also not to go inside. Sometimes the externalized state, extroversion is very royal. They make themselves look like they're introverted, but really they're not, because the introverted ones go into the real depth of everything. And they know the value of even apparently small things, and they don't let things go. Each and every word of Baba's, they know its value, and they make their earnings with that. Their spiritual earnings. They receive blessings and boons. Does anybody experience this, that there is great value of Baba's words? Because it's the truth speaking. You have accepted it. And the words of your own mind may speak, other people's words may affect you or give you sorrow, then it means that you're not having much value for Baba's words. Somebody said, oh, I was hurt. Okay, now, sorry, I have a heart problem. So then Baba's words, take them into your heart, because Baba's words will work. If you complain about things, then how are you going to get blessings? Baba has said this, so it means it's good. You just say, think all the time what Baba has said, and then you start getting blessings and boons. There are examples of this when Baba said, people say, no, Baba has said this. But my mind didn't say anything. Quiet. Baba has said. Somebody else said something, but Baba has said this. Baba was very strict. Sweet, but very strict also. Just once. Baba will say something. Baba said to me, and I told it to Mama. And Baba said this. He said, okay, you went to see Mama about this. And I was strongly affected by that. Mama and Baba has said. So if Baba has said something, immediately don't think about it. What does Mama say about this? So Baba's signs and directions need to be accepted with so much love.
ईश्वर है, कम
This
है
is
क्या?
God, this is nothing less.
वो आदि मध्य अंत को जानता है.
He knows the
तो मामा
beginning,
समझाती थी.
continuation, and the end, and then Mama used to explain things.
मैंने हमारी जन्म पत्री उसके पास है.
Our horoscope is with him,
भला किसमें वो जानता है.
and he knows in which thing I can move forward, but the intellect is very reactionary, and so it, as in a subtle way, will react against Baba, because there is ego. And then we say, oh, I had a touching from Baba, but it was wrong. That was from the ego. Or we say, oh, Baba had said me, but what Baba says it, whatever you have to do, you will see the practical result of that. But in a subtle way, if you say, this is my firm determination, but where did my firm determination come from? It is my duty to keep the thoughts elevated, but Baba's hand is the one that directs what has to happen. Baba will be with me. He is the intellect of the wise, and he will get things done through. Baba will touch someone, and that person will appear in front, and it will get done. No matter what the work is, it will get done.
तो ये जो कर नहीं पाते हैं समय की, आप समय देते हैं विश्वास पे.
Also, you need to have faith.
समय है विश्वास रखने में.
Because you have to have time to keep faith in all these things. Time has been given you to make your faith very firm and strong. And then you see what Baba gets done through you. You just see. My personal effort has Baba's help, and in the activities there is Baba's help. But if I have less faith, then the thing will get done, but my weakness will remain and my happiness will be missing. And I've seen this many times, that the thing does get done. The people who were the instruments, Baba made them into instruments. But if you didn't have complete faith, then you didn't get the power of happiness, and so you lost out. But Baba's work doesn't get delayed for anything. But if you had faith and trust, then you get the increase of the power of trust, because this is God's work, and God is the one who is getting it done, and internally you will get the power of faith accumulating in your soul. A little further clarification. So first, time, self, Baba, and the aim. That's it. You need the four together with you. Bring them together at an equal level with each other. Like a chair stands on four legs, and all four legs have to be equal, otherwise it will shake. So these four need to be equal. Your stage should not shake. I have to be attentive on that. The other thing is, keep the aim. I have to become an all-rounder, an accurate, ever ready. The aim has to be there. An all-rounder, ever ready, and accurate. And then because of being alert, others will get inspired. And you don't have to say anything to anyone, it's automatic. It becomes so simple because it's made within
जैसे
yourself.
बाबा की सीजन होती है, सब खींच के कैसे आते हैं,
And you'll see how Baba just pulls everybody
टाइम पर
and they
कैसे
just
पहुंच
come.
जाते हैं।
They reach on time.
हर प्रकार की वो बहाना चला जाता है, कारण
All
चला
the
जाता है, खींच के
excuses
लेके
and
आते हैं।
reasons disappear and they get drawn by a
खींच
pull.
कौन सी प्राप्ति होती है,
And what is pulling them? The achievement. They're going to
तो
get
प्राप्ति
something.
कितनी हो रही है हमको,
And what is the achievement that
इसमें
we
हम
are
सुस्त
getting?
बने,
We
केयरलेस
have
बने,
not to be careless about this.
बड़ा अंदर से सोचे ये क्या नुकसान करता है।
We have to see what harm is happening,
इसलिए
what
बाबा
loss is
से मन
happening.
अपने लिए काली बनना होता है।
And so this is why one has
इस
to
बाबा ने
become
कल
Kali
क्लियर बोली,
for
काली
oneself.
अपनी
Baba
कराओ।
had said in the Murli the other day, you become Kali for yourself, restrict on
स्नेह भी
yourself.
रहूं पर काली
Be
होंगी अपन में,
loving, but if
कोई
you
भी
can also
अलमेलापन
be
नहीं
Kali
होगा,
towards
तो
yourself, then there will not be
रूहानियत भी
any kind
रहेगी,
of carelessness. You will maintain your
स्वभाव बनित
spirituality,
रहेगा।
and your nature will also be very gentle and delightful.
रूहानियत
Spirituality
बराबर
and also
शोभा है,
that entertaining nature. This is good dignity.
अंतर्मुक्ता
Internalized
एकाग्रता
stage and concentration power.
सफलता है।
Then there is success.
अंतर्मुक्ता वाले को
The people who have an
बड़ा
internalized
बोलेगा
stage,
कम होगा ज्यादा अच्छा।
they will not speak much, but they will
Accurate
be
होगा।
very good and they will be
बचत है,
very
बहिर्मुखता
accurate
में
because they
खर्च बहुत है,
save. In externalized stage, there is
अंतर्मुक्ता
a
में
lot of
बचत बहुत है।
expenditure. When you're an introverted person, you save a lot. You accumulate a
हमें
lot.
कमाई है, वहाँ खर्चा है।
In one there is expenditure, in the other there is accumulation and
कभी बैठ के
income.
अंतर्मुक्ता बहिर्मुक्ता के अंतर को
Sometimes
जानेंगे ना,
sit and see the
तो जगत
comparison
कैसे
between the
परिवर्तन आता है।
two, and then you will
उसमें
see that
खर्चा
how
उसमें
that
कमाई।
brings a transformation, because the one involves expense and the other is an
पहले ज्ञान है, पर
accumulation.
ज्ञान देने में भी खर्च है।
First, do you have knowledge, and then you spend all that knowledge.
कर्म योगी नहीं है, पर
You're not a
सेवा करने
karma
में भी
yogi,
खुशी
but
नहीं है,
you are not happy by doing service.
तो शक्ति नहीं आई।
Then you can't get power.
तो ये भी अंतर्मुक्ता में कितनी कमाई
And
है,
so see what is the
एकाग्रता की शक्ति में
accumulation,
कितना निश्चय का बल काम करता है।
and see how the power of concentration promotes the power of
तो
faith.
उसको अकलाया न तो
And then if you have that understanding, then
बाबा
there's no
समय
problem.
के साथ देता है,
Baba and time are with you at
बाबा
all
और समय दोनों
times.
साथ देते हैं।
Both Baba and time are with you.
अच्छा, अभी पूछो।
अब ये दूसरे प्रकार का प्रश्न है कि बाबा कहते हैं कि किसी को दुख न दो न दुख लो।
Baba says, do
अब
not
ये
give
तो
or
समझो
take
हमने
sorrow.
किसी को दुख दिया, कोई ऐसे शब्द हमने कह दिए,
Suppose
उसको
I've
दुख
said
महसूस
something
हुआ,
and
तो
somebody
फिर ठीक
felt
है,
sorrow
हमने
about
महसूस किया
it.
कि हमने उसे दुख दिया है,
And
तो
if I
मैं
feel that
उससे
I
जाकर के
did
माफ़ी मांगती हूँ
give
कि
that
भाई मैंने
person
तुम्हें
sorrow,
ऐसे
then
कहा,
I
मुझे
can
माफ़ कर देना,
apologize and ask
ऐसे
for their
मैंने शब्द उच्चारण
forgiveness,
किए जो
and
आपको
that
नहीं
yes,
कहने
I
चाहिए थे।
did say something that you wouldn't like.
ये काम नहीं कर रही,
Now,
दादी का
Dadi's
काम कर
अच्छा,
रही।
बोलो बोलो, समझ जाएगी।
तो ठीक है, हम किसी को दुख देते हैं तो चलो हम माफ़ी लेते हैं, परंतु हमने
But
दुख
there's
दिया
another
ही नहीं, हमने कुछ
situation. If
कहा
I
ही नहीं है,
didn't say
और वो
anything, I
अपने
didn't
अनुमान
give
से, वहम
anybody
से,
any
अपने
sorrow, but
शक
because
से
of their
वो
own
महसूस बोले, उसको
ideas,
लगता है
they
मैंने
took
उसे दुख
sorrow
दिया,
and they
तो
decided that I gave
ऐसे
them
समय पर
sorrow.
मैं
Then
क्यों
at
उसे
such a
माफ़ी दूंगी,
time,
भाई
why
हमने
should
तो
I
दुख दिया, हमने तो दुख
ask for
दिया ही
their
नहीं,
forgiveness when I
तो
didn't do
मैंने अगर दुख
anything?
नहीं दिया है तो मैं माफ़ी भी क्यों मांगूं। तो ऐसे समय पर
So at
हम
such a
क्या करें,
time,
यानी
what should
उसको
I
लगता है
do?
कि मैं दुख दे रहा हूँ, पर मैं
They
दुख नहीं
feel
दे
that
रहा हूँ,
I'm giving
मैंने
sorrow, but
कुछ भी नहीं
I'm
उसको
not.
कहा, परंतु वो अपने अनुमान से ये समझ
It's
रहा है,
because
तो
of
उसका
their
जैसे अपना संस्कार बन गया है कि दुख लेना
assumptions,
है, हर
and
एक
they
चीज़
have
से
the
दुख लेता
sanskaras
है,
of taking
तो कैसे
sorrow.
हम
They
उसको
take sorrow
समझाएं।
from all kinds of people. So what should I do in that situation?
जब से बाबा ने कहा है
Ever since Baba has
दुआएं
said,
लो,
take
देने की भी परिस्थिति
blessings.
ऊंची चाहिए,
Of course, to
तो
give
सब तरफ
blessings
से
is a
दुआ
very
मिले,
high stage, but if you would accept blessings from everybody and pay attention that you actually do this. This is an active thing, that you don't actually receive or take, absorb any sorrow. That means you have to have an inner attitude. I was once walking with Dadi Gulzar, and I said, you know that I'm very merciful. I don't have a harsh heart. And I will not avoid seeing somebody's sorrow at all. If I get the feeling something's gone wrong, then I'll immediately go and I'll give them the food from my own stomach if I see anyone in any trouble, because it's necessary for them. If somebody is selfish or careless, they won't be attentive on other people. If you're selfish, you can't be true. You can't be cooperative. And then this thing about giving happiness, they will not have a generous heart. They will not be big-hearted or magnanimous. And they will say, oh, well, I didn't give them any sorrow. They're like this anyway. So if I think like that, then how is anybody going to receive any blessings from me? So for any reason, if somebody does experience sorrow, I have to look at them and give them such feelings that all that sorrow disappeared. Even if it's not a question of giving apologies, but that their sorrow should be melted away. And it doesn't cost you anything to ask forgiveness. Okay, if they want forgiveness, you can give them an apology and they will cool down, otherwise forever. If they received sorrow once, whenever they see you, they will remember that and keep on receiving sorrow every time they see you. But if I had changed myself and said, okay, you felt something, because things happen. I feel very good, but you didn't like it. So find a way and say, okay, it doesn't matter, but make sure that they don't stay with that sorrow. Don't say, oh, this one is like that. No, find a way so that their sorrow is erased. So this is a subtle matter of your attitude. As you're moving around, someone's nature may be under somebody's influence. So then you give them some help. If you say, well, this is their attitude, this is their nature, that means you didn't help, and so you were not friendly with them. So if you're not friendly, you say, no, I am friendly, but what should I do? You have to, if you say like that, then it means you were not actually friendly. It is seen how Baba, slowly, until we understand something, he continues to explain to us. He doesn't just let go. How much time has it taken us? Did Baba let us go? Did he just say, oh, you got to, it doesn't work? Whether we come to class or not, or late, but Baba will come in time. Baba was very particular. Mama was very accurate in arriving in class on time. Only once Baba came in Kunj Bhavan. Suddenly, And Baba used to come at such a time when the people of the world didn't know. It was lunchtime, and the time when Baba came, we immediately went there and finished all the work and arrived. And Mama was less than 5 minutes late, and she stayed outside the room on the staircase. She said this is not civilized to arrive after Baba in the form of the teacher. And with great love, Baba called her. And Mama felt this so strongly that it was an insult to Baba to arrive late. It is your dignity to be punctual. And so in that way, we were taught this by Mama. Once in the small hall, there used to be the class near to where Ishuben's office is in the Pandap Bhavan. Mama came from her house and somebody held me back for 1 minute. And Mama said, oh, Janak has passed all the exams. And so after that day, I was very attentive. And it was just 1 minute, somebody held me up, and I was late. And I couldn't reach the class in time. And so Mama had said this. And Mama came to me. There was Sister Prem. She was giving a very good lecture. Everybody liked it. I also thought she's very good. She's very clever. It was Shiv Jayanti, the program. And then Mama came into the class, and in the evening, I said to Mama, it was very good, and Mama said, oh, you became a householder. Because I was paying attention on all the activities, and after that I stopped being a householder. That's not a good. So if I say, oh no, I've got this work, that work, it means I'm a householder. And you have to be ready. No, they don't. If you say, oh, I didn't have time to think about this, no, that means you're a householder. And so, not a single word of Mama and Baba could we forget, because they were so full of powerful teachings. Because a householder means you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, you have to do that. No, you have to be ever ready to sit in remembrance in a second. And be ready to speak some new point of knowledge at a moment's notice. And don't get confused when anything comes. If somebody comes in front of you, smile and call them. Yes, come. These days, there's so many tests. Oh, you didn't give drishti properly with that tholi. Okay. So one has to get full drishti, and then the next one will come, they want full drishti. So the intellect has to be so accurate, peaceful and pure. The drishti has to be full of happiness and giving happiness. That means you have to pay close attention on yourself. Knowledge means to pay attention. You listen with attention, you do things with attention. If you don't listen with attention, then you won't understand it properly and you won't be able to do it. If you listen with attention, then it's very easy to do it. So see, where is your attention going? Because there's a lot of importance on the attention and where it goes.
Okay. नेक्स्ट।
तो इससे सिद्ध है कि
ठीक है ना?
Is this fine? You like
ठीक है।
these
Practical है ना?
answers? These are practical.
हाँ,
You give Daddy a
Easy
good
है ना?
nod. It's easy, isn't
इजी
it?
है ना? अच्छा, ऐसे सब करो। हाँ हाँ हाँ,
सिर्फ तो
ऐसे सब।
हिलाओ,
Daddy
nod
likes
करो,
when you
हाँ।
nod. She knows you're there with her listening.
तो जैसे अभी दादी जी ने कहा कि ध्यान बहुत ज़रूरी है,
So Daddy
तो
has said
सचमुच
that
अंत के
attention
समय
is very
जब हमारा
important,
1
and so
सेकंड का
at the
पेपर
end
होगा,
we'll have a paper
तो
of
उस
1
समय भी तो
second.
कितना ध्यान देना पड़ेगा।
At that
तो
time
उसके लिए
we have to be
हमें
very
वो अवस्था
attentive,
अभी से
and
बनानी है
so we
ध्यान
have to
देने की,
create that
तो हम
stage
अपने
from
मन और
now.
बुद्धि को इतना फोकस कर सकें
Can we
जो एक
focus our mind and
क्षण भी
intellect to
कहीं
such a
फ्लक्चुएट न
point
हो,
that there would be not
तो
the
तब हम
slightest
नंबर 1 आ
fluctuation, and then
सकेंगे
we
और
can be
लास्ट
number
पेपर में
1
पास हो
and
सकेंगे,
pass the
क्योंकि
last
वो 1
paper,
सेकंड का पेपर होगा।
because it
तो
will be
दादी
a
जी
paper of
आप
a
अपने
second.
अनुभव से बताएं कि आप
So,
कैसे
Daddy,
ये अचीव
please
किया
speak
है,
from your
आपने
experience
कैसे
as
आप
to how
ध्यान
you
देकर 1 सेकंड
achieved
में
this,
उसमें आप
so that
एकाग्र
at
हो
1
जाते, अपने
second
अनुभव
you
से
can
आप
go
बताएं।
into the completely concentrated
जैसे आपने
state.
कहा ध्यान देना है, तो आप करते हैं, तो क्या है
Like
आपका
you
अनुभव,
go
कैसे
into
करते
a
हैं?
state of attention. So how do you
अपना
do
अनुभव
that?
सुनाई दादी, आप
Speak
कैसे
your
करते हैं प्रैक्टिकल।
practical experience.
हम कुछ नहीं करते,
Daddy says, I
बाबा
don't
को
do
देखते
anything.
हैं।
I simply look at Baba.
बड़ा देखती हूँ, अच्छी तरह से देखती हूँ।
I look at him
कोई सेकंड
attentively.
नहीं होगा मैं बाबा को न देखूं।
There is no second where I'm not looking at Baba.
देखा है, जाना है, पहचाना
I
है,
have
पाया
seen
है
him,
उनसे।
I've looked at him, I've recognized
देखा
him,
है,
I've
जाना
attained
है,
him.
पहचाना है, उनसे पाया है।
I've looked at him, seen him, recognized him, and attained him.
तो हम क्या करेंगे?
So what would I do?
और प्रैक्टिकली दादी अभी आंखों से सब देख रहे हैं।
Practically, you're all seeing Daddy with your own eyes.
मैं देख रही, वंडर है। सारी
She's
काम बहुत चल रही
amazing.
है,
Everything
अच्छी
is
तरह चल
going
रही
on
है।
very nicely.
निमित्त तो दादी है,
Daddy is the instrument.
शांति से प्रेम से चल रही है।
And with peace and love,
आज
everything
वो
is
पैदल करने
happening.
गई।
So
वो
she
जो
went walking.
बिस्किट ब्रेड बनाता है ना,
Someone was making
यहाँ
bread and
कितना
biscuits.
छोटा कमरा उसके
It's
पास
a very
है।
small room, the bakery here.
हमेशा प्यार से इशारा करता है, गई उसके पास।
And I went to him with so much love. You can't
बताया उसने
imagine.
परसों केक ऐसी छोटी सी,
He made a little cake.
नहीं तो लंदन में तो आंख दिखाती है, इतने छोटे
Otherwise,
कमरे में कैसे इतना बनेगा?
in London, how can I make so much?
क्या रोज बनाते रहेंगे?
Do I have to make every day?
यहाँ तो देखो,
But here you
इतना
see,
सदोरा बाबा का बच्चा,
such a lovely child of Baba.
इतना सदोरा, मैंने तो दिल कहा,
I had my heart was filled, and he showed me things, he made me taste things, and then he took everything, brought everything for me to take.
बैठा है यहाँ?
प्रवीण कहती है ब्रेड अच्छी नहीं बनाता।
And Praveen Bhai says he doesn't make good bread, but he brought me with so much love. And then she says it's not nice. I felt sorrow.
मैंने देखा ब्रेड तुम्हारी ठीक नहीं होती है। अरे मैं इतना प्यार करके
And he brought this bread with so much love.
इतना किसकी वैल्यू, मेहनत, प्यार।
We have to value someone's effort and love.
एक-एक चीज एक्यूरेट रखी थी।
Each thing was accurately kept in this tiny little place.
10 मिनट में लेके आया।
Within 10 minutes he brought it.
कोई जो सच्ची दिल से प्रेम
And
से काम
someone
करने जानता
who
है ना,
knows how to work with a true heart and with love.
कभी आवाज से बात, मैंने देखा, आगे भी देखा है।
And I have seen, and he saw me going for a walk, and he said, "Daddy, will you come inside?"
प्यार से करने
With so
वाले
much
की
love,
जो
those who do things with
हुक्म नहीं
love,
करेंगे, तुम ठीक करो, ये करो, ना ना, खुद करेंगे।
they will do it.
सफाई भी थी,
And there was cleanliness there as well, accuracy as well.
अच्छी चीज यहाँ से दिया, यहाँ से दिया, ये दिया।
And he gave the things from the different places, all the different ingredients.
समझा बात? तो
बस
ये
बाबा को देखते हैं।
So
बाबा को देखते हो,
you
सब
see
देखते हैं।
Baba
बाबा को चाहिए
at every second.
टाइम पर,
and things have to be
अच्छी चीज
accurately
इकोनॉमी
done,
वाली मैं
accurately
पूछेंगी कितना
good
खर्चा आया इसका
economically,
बाबा
and I
पूछेगा
ask
बेटा
him,
कितना
how
खर्चा
much
आया
did this,
ताकि
how
एक बारी
much was
बोला
your expense?
ट्रोलियां जो बनती है
All the different tolis that
हर एक
get
ट्रोली का
made.
प्राइस लिख रहा है
People also write the price of the
सबसे
tolis.
ज्यादा अच्छा बनता है तोशा
And the best ones of all are the toshas.
तोशा तो ये ट्रोली बाबा ने पास की हुई है
And so Baba liked that.
तो भी
अच्छी है
दादी
बच्ची
एक
बाबा
बार
ने कहा था ये कैप्सूल है
And
एक
Baba
बार
said this
पूछा
is a
था कितने का
capsule.
पड़ता है एक तोशा, तो बोला 50 पैसा, 50
So
पैसा।
भाई
it's
मिठाई ये
50
बनेगी कितना
paisa.
खर्चा आएगा ये कितना खर्चा आएगा
So all
एक
the
तोशे का
economics
कितना
of the
खर्चा
yagya,
बच्ची
what's
ये
the
ट्रोली
price
अच्छी
of one
वो नाम ही
tosha?
रखा है कैप्सूल है
And
ताकतवर
so he said, this is a capsule that
प्यार से
gives
बनाते
power.
हैं
You
लाखों
make it
बनते
with
हैं
so
जी
much love. Now we make
कैप्सूल तो
hundreds of
लाखों बनते
thousands
हैं
of these tosha
और नुकसान नहीं
capsules.
होता है भारी भी नहीं बहुत घी भी
They're
नहीं
not
शुगर भी
heavy,
नहीं
there's not too much sugar, there's not too much oil.
तो कम खर्च
So less
एक्यूरेट
expense,
अच्छी हो
accurate
एक
way
तोशा
of
कच्चा हो
making.
दूसरा पक्का हो एक छोटा हो एक
If
बड़ा हो ये भी
one
नहीं होना
tosha is small, the other one's big, the other one's well cooked, the other
ये
one's
बाबा का
not enough
सिखाया
done, that's not okay. They all have to be the
हुआ एक
same.
बारी
Once,
छोटा हाल है ना
in the small hall,
वहाँ हम खाना खा रहे
in
बाबा
the
का
history
सामने
hall,
बैठा था
Baba was
खाना
in
तो
front,
खाना
we were
खिलाने
all
वाली आता
eating,
होती थी शीला होती थी
and Sister
तो
Ata
बाबा कहते
Mohini was
खाना खिलाने ऐसे
bringing
ऐसे खिलाए
the
घुंघरू बन के
food,
आओ
and so he said,
अच्छी तरह से
bring
खुशी
little
से खाना
bells
खिलाओ
on your
ऐसे दो ऐसे नहीं ऐसे दो
ankles,
ऐसे
and give the food to everyone with so
तो
much
मोहन
love and
थाल था
attention.
यहाँ कोई
And the
मिठाई
thing to
मोहन
give
थाल
was
था
called mohantal. It's another kind
तो
of
कोई की
sweet.
चक्की बड़ी थी कोई छोटी थी
And some of the squares were bigger and some were
बाबा ने
smaller.
बुलाया
And Baba said, come,
भंडारी को बुलाओ
bring the
एक
person
छोटी
who's
बड़ी
the cook.
ठीक नहीं है
One is small, one is big.
वो
That's
दिन से
not
ऐसी
right.
सीखी
And then we
अगर
learnt from
एक
that day,
मिठाई तो बना
every one
चक्की
of the
एक्यूरेट
squares
होवे
have to be exactly the same size as each other.
एक चक्की मोटी हो एक छोटी हो
If one is fat and another is small, that won't look good.
कई बातों में बाबा की याद आती है
And so there are many, many things that
हर समय बाबा
bring
ने
Baba's remembrance,
अच्छा ही
because
रखा है
everything reminds us of Baba. We say, yes, Baba used to like this, Baba didn't like that, Baba
एक बार
wanted
बाबा
it
ने
this
कोई फैमिली
way.
आई
There was a family who
बाबा
came
ने
to
दीदी को
Baba,
कहा
and Baba said to
बच्ची
Didi,
इसको टोली दे देना
give
फैमिली
a
के लिए
toli for this family.
दीदी भूल गई
And
जो
Didi
बाबा ने आंख
forgot.
दिखाई दीदी को
And then Baba gave such an eye to Didi.
ये भूल किया
You forgot.
भूल गई तुम
You forgot.
जैसे बड़ा पाप किया
It was as if she had done a very
बाबा ने
severe
कितना
sin.
प्यार से बोला था
And Baba
बच्ची
had said
बाबा
with
ने
so
कितना
much
प्यार से
love,
बच्ची टोली लेके जा
and come and bring toli
बच्चों के लिए लेके जाना
for the children, and you forgot.
तो कभी ऐसी भूल न करेंगे बाबा के साथ
And so we could never make such a mistake in front of Baba again.
ऐसा बाबा ने सिखाया
In this way, Baba had taught us.
जो कोई आवे ना
Anyone who
उसको कोई
comes,
अच्छी तरह से ज्ञान सुनना ज्ञान ऐसा नहीं थोड़ा सा इतना
to
सुनना करके ऐसा
explain
लायक
knowledge
बना
to
के
them
बाबा
in
के सामने
such a
लेके
way that they become ready to come in front of Baba and recognize him.
एक घंटे में आधा घंटे में
If it's an hour or a half an
ऐसे भी
hour,
नहीं कि बाबा बिजी है बाबा
but not just, oh, Baba's busy, no.
एक बार का बाबा स्नान पर गया है
Once it was said, oh, Baba
बाबा ने
has
जो
gone
आंख
for a
दिखाई
bath, and Baba really gave
क्यों
the
बोला उसको
eye. Why
स्नान पर
did you
बाबा
tell
गया
her Baba had gone for a bath?
बाथरूम से निकल आया
You called me out from the bathroom.
गंजी धोती पहन के उनसे मिला
And he
बच्ची
met
वो
the
बांध देवी
person
माता ये तो
with his
बाथरूम
bathing
में है बाबा
clothes. This mother who was in bondage, and you didn't let her meet Baba
टावेल बांध
because
के
he put a towel around himself
गंजी
and
पहन
came
के
out,
मिलने लगा
and he met this
और प्रेमी
lady.
बाबर वाली अभी तक
And she is
बांध
still
देली उसी तारीख
there,
को टाइम वही छिप के आई
and
थी
she came secretly to meet Baba.
ऐसा बाबा ने सिखाया है
And Baba had taught
और
us.
हम कहें भाई हमको ये काम है ये काम है
And we say, oh, I've got this work and that work and the other work.
कभी दिखाई न पड़े मेरे पास काम है अरे ये जरूरी है ना चाहो
Oh, this is necessary. Come,
तब
come,
बिठा
sit.
देती थी बाहर
And we used
तब
to
तो वो अच्छी
sit
बातें
them
सुना देंगे
outside, and they start
थोड़ी
listening to
खिला
good
देंगे या
things. We
कुछ ये
give
कर
them
देंगे
toli,
ताकि अच्छा चलो
and then they meet Baba.
तो
And so I don't have to do anything. Just remember, how did Baba teach us? And if I don't, then who will know that Baba is the one who has taught us? This is not something a human being has taught us. This is not a human being. Deities don't do anything. They become idols and sit in temples. People worship them. But Brahmins have to do things so that they become angels. Brahmins do things in order to become angels. And we saw Baba in his angelic form. One minute he's doing something, he's an old man, the next minute you see him as an angel. He was standing in the office. He came out, he went to the kitchen. He went in the kitchen. I was following Baba. And he said to Baba, don't come. Baba said, don't come, I'm coming. He moved around like an angel. And I'm talking about a year before Baba became avyakt. I said, Baba, where are you? And he had gone upstairs. He said, no, child, I'm coming, don't worry, wait for me. So this is the angelic form. He reaches all places. 1 minute sitting in the hut. And so he went out of his room because it was being cleaned, so he sat in the hut. So he was so accurate in everything. And he would go and write letters there. And there was one sister Shanti, she would clean, and at that time the room has to be empty. So he was so attentive on what had to be done when and how. So attention means, and then Shanti would clean it so beautifully. Nobody else could clean it as well as that little Shanti. And she kept Baba's clothes accurately. His thali was shining, his glass was shining. And so she did service with a lot of love. And we like to do things the way Baba wanted them. We should do them the way he wanted. And the accounts of the money, we would send that to Baba. And he would say this. He would get the account of some people and throw it away, that this is fake. They just created it, they made it up. And then somebody else gave their true account and he would hold it to his eyes. I'd say, Baba, this is my account. I will definitely give you my account. One is the chart. It should never be bad. Because Baba will get the feeling that this one's intellect is not right. And Baba had said once, and it was a practical thing, came in the Murlis. This is Indraprastha. If somebody brought anyone from the world of death, a non-BK, without asking, and then her intellect would turn to stone, and there was somebody who secretly brought someone to Madhuban like that. And Baba had said, the one whose intellect that intellect got cursed and it would no longer work. That's a very big thing to happen. Practical examples. If you love somebody, then you will never tell their mistake. If you don't like somebody, you'll immediately tell their mistake. Why not tell this person's mistake? Well, their dignity would go. I won't tell Baba because I'm keeping their dignity, and if you don't like somebody, then you tell Baba their mistake. And Baba wants to see the incarnation of truth. It's a very subtle thing. If you are not working out with somebody, you will tell their mistake. If you like somebody, you will be concerned about their reputation and protect them. And so you have to say your own mistake as well, not somebody else's mistake. You say, this is my mistake. And then the chart would be accurate. The account of money would be accurate. And Baba says, this is my trustworthy child. No attachment to anybody, a trustworthy child, a faithful child, an obedient child. Then this one doesn't have to try to have yoga, but God moves this child. He is the faithful, trustworthy and obedient child and gives love and remembrance. Baba gives love and remembrance number-wise. I don't want to be number-wise, but the one who is with Baba. This is a personal choice. You have to have a deep desire for this. You have to become, I have to become. Baba is making this. You have to become it now, and Baba is making you become it, not somebody else. Don't let your foot slip at all. If it does, then what will Baba do? So once I wrote a letter to Baba that the intellect slipped a little bit, and it was, Baba says it is like glass, the mercury, it slips. So these are like mustard seeds. They do slip, and so you have to be very attentive. The poppy seeds fall very easily, so you have to be careful. And so he wrote this very loving letter. He says remembrance is a very subtle thing, because I said, no, it slips. And he wrote the answer with so much love. But if we say, okay, I'm going ahead and it slips anyway, then what kind of a life is that? But we say that if a little bit slips, then you get 100 times injury, because your foot can slip and you get a lot of injury. So be careful that you don't slip at all. If you make a little bit of a mistake, you get an injury. It takes a long time to heal. And so carelessness and making mistakes, both of those are your enemies. It's as if you're operating in darkness. You say, oh, I don't know, oh, I was spinning, I don't know what happened. That's like a person who's under the influence of the gross vices of greed or lust or anger. So if you slip in any way, then you're going to have to endure a lot of the consequences. And so you have to have so much faith and so much attention, and it has to be continuous. And then you see the wonder of Baba. He is the one who keeps you with him. He is the one who's taking you with you. He has his own dignity. He came, he did his work, he made his children worthy, he placed them on his eyes, took them home, and then he says, you children rule the kingdom of the world of heaven. Okay. One is Baba the Bindi and the other is Baba Sindhi. That means the old Baba. One is the Bindi, the other is the Sindhi. So love him so much. Our Baba became so old. Let him be free. Baba shouldn't have to do anything. Let Baba lie back. I liked that when he would do that. And we would just look at him and appreciate him. We enjoyed it so much. Baba gets his work done. Now Baba is watching all this from the subtle regions, and Baba also said, children, you do things with love and I'm sitting there. And anyone who experiences this, how Baba gets things done. I didn't even have this in a dream that this would happen. And all the service that has happened in the world, nobody has done. It is amazing. Sakar Baba had spoken about all this before he became Avyakt. He said, children will go to foreign countries, you will have the Murli, you will do the 7 days course. We didn't do anything new. Whatever Baba has said before is happening now. Very good children will emerge. And first Kumar Ka Dadi came and she was very happy. Very, very happy. She said, see how in the one of the previous kalpa, the last birth came over here to do service of Baba for, and it was all young people who emerged. It was after Baba's arrival that they took birth. There's very, very few who would be more than 70 years old. They all came, all young people came after the start of the yajna. So Shiv Baba has his plan, and he sent people to take birth in all different countries. Not that they would have taken so many births in other religions, just in their last birth they went to the other countries. And so we used to look at this and say, yeah, it looks like it's really what this is. That's what Baba has been saying. We have great regard for each other. I used to see Baba and Dadi. This was when Dadi came. Dadi came in 77 in London. And it was as if Baba had come. Dadi had told me in 98 we were having in 98 Tennyson Road, then we took 96, and it was very cold and I was having a lot of cough, and I so sat there for meditation. Daddy said, you do meditation there? I said, yes. And I remember that day. I said, I'm not going to do meditation there in the place where I sleep. Regardless of my condition, I would get out of my cot and go and sit for meditation in the other place. And now I don't know whether people get up and meditate or what. And I wasn't able to brush my teeth. It was if Baba was getting my teeth brushed, and I would sit. Baba would brush my teeth for me. Then I would sit for meditation. I used to receive power. Dadi came, Didi came. How she does meditation at Amrit Vela. I used to sit for the class and everyone would come and sit. And Didi came to see. And we had discussions. Yes, you had to be light in meditation. Both have to be light, absolutely bright. And so it's good to have deep discussions of Gyan and help each other move forward. This is true love. Okay? Understand?
लगाई है तो
You put the key in me,
आप तो
so
घड़ी देख रहे हो, मैं तो नहीं देख रही।
you are looking at the clock, but I'm not.
कभी नहीं कहो कैसे पुरुषार्थ करूं, ऐसे करो।
I never say how to make effort, but like
करो,
this.
करावना
Do
कराएगा।
it, and he will get it done.
वंडर है बाबा का।
This is the wonder of Baba.
सब ऐसे मूंझो नहीं।
But just don't get confused.
कैसे करूं, ऐसे शिक्र कैसे करूं, जैसे।
And you say, oh, how can I do it? And you put on a depressed face. No, smile and say like this.
चलो ओम शांति।
Om Shanti.
हो गया?
वेरी गुड।
अच्छा। कल शाम को गुलजार दादी यहाँ होंगी।
Tomorrow evening, Dadi Gulzar will be coming.
तुम बोलो तो कल आऊँ, नहीं परसों आऊँ।
Otherwise, the next day, you are up tomorrow.
मीरा ने कहा दादी से प्रोग्राम पर पूछ लिया, मैं कहा दादी।
So I asked Dadi her program.
कल ऊपर आना है।
She said, I'm coming. I said, what time?
मैं कहा मैं नीचे आऊँ पर कहती तुम ऊपर काम हो तो तुम भले ऊपर रहो, मैं
Said,
नीचे रहूँ तो नीचे परसों आऊँ।
you have work up, I'll stay down. No, I said, no, I finished my work.
काम मेरा कुछ नहीं, अभी गुलजार दादी आएंगी।
Now Dadi Gulzar will come, Nirvaibai will
परसों
come.
पिकनिक करेंगे।
Day after tomorrow, it's a picnic in the Peace Park. Now the question, Baba will see that all my shining stars are sitting here.
तो बड़ी बात छोटी में दूसरा,
Then
अभी हम लाइट हाउस में गई थी, मैंने कहा 20 मिनट योग में बैठो।
I went to Lighthouse. I went to sit for 20 minutes meditation.
उस घड़ी जो अनुभव हुआ,
The experience I had,
समझो अनुभव, अब नीचे है,
I'm down
सामने बड़ी बड़ी दिखाई पड़ती है,
and I see a very big thing in front of
बीच में
me.
है तो
If
सामना
I'm in the
करना
middle,
पड़ता
then I have to face it, to think about
है।
it.
ऊपर से है तो छोटी
If
है,
I go up above, it's small.
समझ गए?
Understood?
ये सूक्ष्म एक्सरसाइज है,
It's a
समझने की
subtle
बात है।
exercise
यहाँ
regarding
नीचे है ना,
understanding.
नीचे है ना,
If the intellect is down below,
बहुत
you
बड़ी
feel it's a very big thing.
कोई हल होए,
And you don't know how
क्या
to
होगा,
solve
बहुत
it, what's
टेंशन
going to
होती है।
happen, and you don't
नहीं
know.
बड़ी इतनी बड़ी बात नहीं, परंतु
You say
सामने
it's not
एक
such a
आती है,
big
दूसरी
thing, but
जाती है, दूसरी
then
जाती है, तीसरी आती है।
one thing goes, the second thing
वो सामना
comes,
करना
you
पड़ता
have
है,
to
सहन करना पड़ता
face and tolerate a lot of things.
है। वो भी हल्कापन नहीं है,
Then that's not called
टाइम ही नहीं है
lightness,
हल्के रहने का।
and so you're not using
ऊपर की
time
स्थिति
for
में है
getting
ना, ऊपर है
lightness.
ना,
But if you go up above
बाबा के साथ है ना,
with Baba,
छोटी बात हुई चली गई,
they're all
बात भी
small
छोटी होगी चली
things,
गई,
and then they go,
आगे चली गई।
and I go ahead.
तो अति सूक्ष्म
So it's
आत्मा की
extremely
स्थिति
subtle
में रह करके लाइट रहना,
about remaining in a
बाबा से
soul
हम
conscious
लाइट खींच के डबल
stage,
लाइट रहना,
taking power from Baba, being double
डबल
light.
है ना, तो जैसे लाइट हाउस होकर के ऊपर से काम
And
करना।
then you're like a lighthouse and do your work from up above.
लाइट हाउस हो गए,
And you become a
और नगर में भी
lighthouse.
जैसे ये लाइट हाउस है,
And people see this is like a lighthouse.
लाइट हाउस बच्चे बन जाओ।
Baba said, become a lighthouse, but you can only become a lighthouse when you have the world of peace in one eye and the world of happiness in the other, and all forms of sorrow are left behind down there. You have to go to the soul world and come to the world of happiness, do this rehearsal. I have to go to the soul world, become karmatit, do elevated karma, and come into the world of happiness. The intellect should be elevated, a king. The kings speak less, and the subjects love them. In today's Murli, the kings speak less. They're like deities. They don't say anything. Now rehearse this. Don't have to say anything. Everybody will come with love. These are the souls who are going to come into the golden age. And so then you must go deep into peace inside. So how much time do you remain in peace? She's speaking a lot, so she can't be doing much time in silence. So ask her how much time is she speaking 12 hours a day. I said, if I don't remain peaceful, how am I going to peace? How am I going to speak? I cannot speak if I don't remain in peace. If I don't remain in peace, who's going to listen? What can I teach anybody? You have to remain in peace and remain in love. This is what I'm speaking about. If I'm not in peace and love, nobody's going to listen, and I will get tired and have a bad throat and just sit there. But no, I'll not get a headache and the throat won't go bad. Some people get those problems from speaking. Why? Because they don't have peace inside. They don't have love inside. Because the ocean of peace and love and bliss is my Father. They will not tell Gyan, but they will give a give and take of their experience. So that people come close to Baba and celebrate happiness. Sakar Baba used to make a lot of effort, and that every child who would come would be filled with riches. Avyak Baba would sit 2, 4. Once Baba stayed 12 hours. He came 6 in the evening and left 6 in the morning, 12 hours. Once I was 16 hours. How is that? Because the giver is giving. And that there's no expenditure of energy, there's an accumulation, but it is through the power of love and peace being accumulated. Not just light or double light, but triple light, then you are a lighthouse. Understood? And so these questions you have about how to become an angel, it's about being totally light and up above with your hands like wings. Even your feet are not touching the ground and your hands are spread out. What work are you doing? And those who have the sanskaras of the angel qualities of the original and the eternal form, they become angels, the middle part disappears. Whatever you were in the middle has disappeared. Whatever you are at the beginning and at the end. Because the beginning stage emerges at the end. And the original knowledge is what we become the embodiment of. And there is power in that. This is the essence. You've understood to the details, but this is the essence.